Okay, welcome to part 2 of lesson 2. So this is 2.2, part 2 or part B. This is called adding your GST and PST taxes. Okay, so now we're going to be adding tax to our actual money. So it says the total cost of an item might be higher than its price tag, and that's always due to paying taxes. The government likes to charge us money. So it says in all Canadian provinces, we must pay a GST tax, goods and service tax, of 5%. It used to be 7. Thank goodness they lowered it to 5. In certain provinces, an additional PST is also charged. That's a provincial tax. We're the only province that doesn't, so thank goodness we don't yet. However, a lot of the other provinces do, so they pay more than 5%. They'll pay above that. So when paying PST and GST, you can just add the two together and find total tax. That also works. So it says instead of paying less than 100% of your price, that is your discounts, the price is going to be lower than 100% of your price. So we have to make a note that 100% of the price is called the regular price. So if I say you're paying 100% for an item, you're just paying its regular cost. Okay? You're paying all of that cost. That's what that means. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be finding the tax that we have to add to these. So the first thing we're going to do, we can times it by the percent we have to pay versus what we got to subtract. So yesterday we talked about two different ways to do it. So the first way, we have two steps. We take our percent. So this one is going to be 5%. We divide it by 100 and get 0.05. So we take our percent to a decimal. That's step 1. Step 2, take our decimal number, 0.05, and we multiply that. What's going on down there? Noticing. All right, so now we're going to take the decimal number and we times that by the cost. So we times that by the cost of the item. So that's going to be times $129. And that's going to give us, and again, we always round to two decimal places because we're talking dollars and pennies. So dollars and cents. So this is going to be $6.45. That's our tax. That's not the total cost of the item. Now you've got to take your regular price plus your tax. So your last step, total cost, is equal to your regular price plus the tax. So this is going to be $129 plus the $6.45. So you end up having to pay $135.45. That is your total cost with the tax. Okay? Now, we could also do it by the percent we end up having to pay. So when we do this, we say before we used to subtract from 100. So if the discount was 15%, so in the last section, if we said our discount was 15%, we would take 100, subtract 15, and get 85% we pay. But now, with a tax, you pay total cost, you pay 100% of the item plus the tax. So that's 100% plus 5%, which equals 105%. Now we divide that by 100. So that's going to give us 1.05. Okay? So 1.05. That becomes the decimal. Look how different the decimal is from the other side. The other side I had 0.05. The only difference is this one has the number 1 in front of it. When it has the number 1 in front of it, we're not going to have to go back and re-add our regular price to our tax. When we do it this way, it adds the tax in that step for us. So this way, adds the tax for us. Adds tax for us. So the minute we use this number right here, it adds the tax for us. We don't have to do that last step, number 3 there, where we take regular price plus tax. This will do it for us. So now we're going to take that decimal number, 1.05, and we times it by our price, $129. It's going to give us our cost right away, 135.45. So it only takes you 2 steps to get to the answer. It's a shorter way to do it. Now, if they ask you specifically what is the GST, you have to do it the way on the left, because this way tells you specifically what the GST is without the money added to it to begin with. Okay, that's just the GST on what you're buying. On the right-hand side, they don't tell you what GST is. If you want to find out what GST is, you have to subtract the regular and the sales price. Okay? All right, number 8. We've got a CD. It's got a regular price of $14.95 in Saskatoon. Well, if that's Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan has a PST of 7%. So they have a PST and a GST. So we have to add our tax here. So the first step we have is we're going to go 7% plus 5% gives us 12% tax. That's what we divide by 100 now. Now we divide that by 100. And that gives us 0.12. Now we take that decimal, 0.12, and we times it by the money. And the money is $14.95. That's going to give us a cost of GST, tax with PST included. So this is tax. The tax comes to $1.79. So now total cost is going to be those two added together. So for my total cost, I will add the tax to my regular price, and I'll get $16.74. Now, doing it the other way, we would add our tax still. So I would have my 7 plus my 5% tax is 12% tax. We have to add that to the 100%. So step 1 is taking 100 plus 12 to give me 112%, which is what I end up dividing by 100. So that's going to give me a decimal of 1.12. Now we take our decimal, 1.12, and times it by the money, $14.95. And that's going to give me my price right away, $16.74. So the thing that stays the same is you have to add the tax for both of them. So here we added our tax and got 12% tax. Here we added our tax and got 12% tax. So you still add your taxes together. All right, turn your page. Everybody get that stuff written down? Yeah? Okie dokie. All right, now we're in Manitoba. This guy, they even charge more for tax in Manitoba. They charge 8%. So now my tax is going to be 8% plus 5%. Well, that's going to be 13% tax in Manitoba. So step 1 over here, I take my 13, divide by 100 to give me 0.13. Step 2, take my decimal, 0.13 times the money, $349.99. That's going to give me the tax. So my tax ends up being $45.50. Now I need total cost. Well, that's going to be my regular price plus my tax. So I'm going to have $3.49 and 99 cents. And I'm going to add $45.50. And that's going to give me a total cost of $395.49. Okay, we're going to get the same answer on the right-hand side, but we're going to do it within 2 steps. It's not going to take us as long. So I've got my 13%. So I'm going to take my 100% plus my 13% to give me 113%. And that's what I'm dividing by 100. And that's going to give me 1.13. Step 2 is the same. You take your decimal and you multiply it by the money. So 1.13 times the money, which is $349.99. And that's going to give me my total cost with tax added, $395.49. So you get your answer with the tax added into it. This will not tell you the tax separate. The one on the left tells you the tax amount separate. This one won't. In order to find the tax separate, you would take these two numbers and you would subtract them, and that would give you your tax amount. Okay, that's how you would do it. All right. Part 3. So here's part 3. Now we have to combine sales taxes and discounts. So now we're going to say we have a discount, it's on sale, and then we still have tax to add to that. So now we're going to combine them. So when we combine them, the first thing we have to do is find the discounted price. So that's how much you save. Okay? Find how much you save, then find sale price. Okay? You got to find the sale price. So it's going to say it 2 different ways. So find the discounted amount, and then it's saying the discount price. Discounted price means your sale price. Okay, that's what the discounted price means, is sale price. All right, so we find our discounted amount. Then we have to find the tax on that amount. So here we go. Here's our example. We have a shed in Red Deer. So we're Alberta. That means we only have GST. Okay, so we only include GST. But now it says the shed includes the GST, which means I don't have to add it after. Okay? All right, so here we go. Let's figure this sucker out. So it says, it wants you to find it including GST. So it doesn't include it originally. So our discounted price. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 20 divided by 100. And that's going to give me 0.20. So we could do it that way. What's the other way to do it? Multiplying it by how much you have. So now, once we find the decimal, the second point is to take our decimal number times by our money. So 0.20 times $500. That's going to tell us how much we save. Okay, that's only how much we save. So that's going to say we save $100. So if I save $100, how much do I actually have to pay then? What would the cost be? Well, your cost is going to be, so this is your sale price. If it'll start, sale price is to subtract from your original. So you're going to take 500, subtract the 100, your sale price is going to be $400. Okay, so now you've got a shed that you have to pay for $400, so it's $100 off. Now we need tax on that. So the fourth step is to put tax on. So now our tax is 5%. We're going to take our price, 1.05. This is our GST decimal. Okay, that's how we calculate GST, times $400. And that's going to tell us how much our total cost is. And that's going to bring our total cost to $420. Now, if we have $420 cost, how much did they charge us for tax if my sale price was $400? If I wanted to know how much the tax was, if they asked me for tax, I would say it is $420 minus my starting $400. So my tax is $20. That's what I'm paying in tax. But my total cost, that's with tax, is $420. Okay? All right, turn your page. Example 11. Now we're going to BC. BC has a PST of 7%. So we're buying a video game, but it's going to be in BC. So the first thing we do is we want to find the discounted item before tax. So that means your sale price. Okay, so we want the sale price. So if I've discounted 10%, that means I pay 90% of the cost. Okay, so I pay 90% of the cost. So that means I'm going to take 0.90 times $24.99. That's going to give us $22.49. Okay, that's our sale price. So now that I've got sale price, I've got to multiply it by the tax. So my tax, I have 7% plus GST 5%. So 7 plus 5 is equal to 12% tax. So if I want to add the tax into the final number, you have to multiply by 100% plus 12%. So this is going to be 100 plus 12 equals 112%. And now you divide that by 100. So now your decimal becomes 1.12, and you're timesing that by the money. $22.49. $22.49. And when I multiply those together, my total cost is going to end up being $25.19. So let's go quickly over the rules here and the steps. So the first step is you're paying 90%. So since you're only paying 90%, why is it 90? Because we're going 100% of our costs minus our discount. Okay, so we're minusing our discount. That means we pay 90%. That's how we get that 90%. We subtract the discounted amount. So if I'm paying 90%, this is what I'm going to actually be paying the company. So I take my decimal then, and I multiply it by my money. This is going to give me my sale price. Step three is finding your tax, which is 112%. Step 4 is to make your decimal and multiply it by your sale price. So you're timesing it by the sale price. Just so you know what's going on there. And that'll give you your total cost. So this is our final total cost with taxes. Okay, so our total cost is only 20 cents more than the original price. Okay, so we're going to do all those steps on the next question. Okay, so everybody, let's get together on example 12. So now we've got Toronto. Toronto, they have a PST of 9%. They pay the most. So they have 9% and GST of 5%. So the tax is 100% plus 9% plus 5%, which is 114% for tax. Okay, that's going to be for our step 4 coming up. So our first step is to find out how much we pay. We pay, if we're discounted 40%, we pay 100 minus the 40, which means I'm paying 60% of the cost. So we pay 60%. That's what I'm going to divide by 100 to get my decimal. Step 2, we're going to take that decimal, 0.6 times the cost, 47.95. Whoa, a little bigger. Here, let's move that up a little bit better. It's not cooperating very well here. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to end up with, we pay $28.77. This equals the sale price. Step 3 is to take your sale price and times by your tax decimal. So the tax decimal is coming from over here. So how do we put a percentage into a decimal? What do we have to do to put a percent into a decimal? Divide by 100. Good. So I would divide that guy by 100 to get my decimal. She literally just walked out. It was somebody else that was gone. Yeah, but yes, that's fine. So now we're going to get 1.14 as our decimal. So that's the decimal we're timesing by our sale price. So our sale price is $28.77, and we're timesing it by our tax decimal, 1.14. And that's going to give me my total cost with tax. So I'm going to get $32.80. Okay, this is total cost with tax. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to look at the next section. What if they want to find out how much they increased or decreased a price by? Maybe they give us our starting amount and our sale price, our regular and our sale price, and they want us to figure out how much they actually reduced the price by. Well, we have a formula for that. So that's what we're going to be figuring out. So here is an equation. Did everybody get those 3 steps written down? You guys have those all written down? Okay. Oh, I just have to redo that. Okay, so here's the next example. So we also have to identify who's the old price, who's the new price. So old price and new price. From is always the old price. To is always the new price. So we are going to take new, subtract old, 1.25, subtract 0.95, divided by 0.95, and then times 100. And that's going to give us our decimal. And this one is giving us a positive 32. So since we got a positive 32, that means it's an increase. If it was a negative, it'd be a decrease. Okay, example 14. Make sure you've got them written down so you know how to do the questions. So now you've got a book and it's telling us it's decreasing. It's going from and to. So from is your old price or your original. And then we've got our new price. So we're going to take new price, subtract old price, divided by old price, times 100. Equals, now we're going to get negative 20. I'm not going to write my answer as negative 20. This means when you see a negative sign, this negative means the word decrease. So you would say it decreased it decreased 20%. So negative 20 means it went down. Okay, so it went down, decreased. All right, last question. We also had a slice of pizza. It decreased in price. So old price, identify old, identify new. And it's new subtract old. So 1.25 subtract 2.50 divided by 2.50 times 100 equals negative 50. So negative 50 means a decrease of 50%. And that's what, when you get a negative amount, all the negative sign means, and you're not going to use the negative as part of your answer, all the negative means is that it decreased. This concludes lesson 2.2.